far as some of the techniques or whatnot?
One thing that I really took from Peyton was he talked about, play calling, and he said, when he still has a record for interceptions his rookie year, and he told us the reason why is because he had some plays that he wasn't comfortable with in the game plan, and his offense coordinator really wanted to call them, but he was like, how do I tell this grown man I'm a rookie that I don't like this play? So you go out there and throw a pick because you don't like the play so much. So he says, don't ever run a play that you're not comfortable with. So I really took that into account.
So individual skill set develop. What's on the table for the balance this summer? What are you going to focus on and work on to balance this summer? Develop Sam Leavitt.
Yeah, I've done a lot of under center stuff, just kind of honing in my footwork, taking a couple things out of my throwing motion. I'm always looking at little things I can add, my foot placement, how my weight's transitioning, trajectory of my body along with my arm mechanics, trying to sync everything up and put all into rhythm. So it's really just taking it all into account, footwork, timing, rhythm, and then syncing it up. And then, being able to, it's really easy to do that routes on air when you're in pads, but not to be able to do that with pads on with a rush is going to be, the transition.
How's it been with Ben? Player workouts, pulling off a spring ball, the familiarity of that center so important?
Yeah, from a snapping standpoint, he's gotten 10 times better, especially since, the first couple of days in spring ball. So, here they are all yelling at me right now. But just super proud of him. And then he's a really smart, cerebral player. And I'm able to talk through protections on the field with him. And then we go in the film room after and I say, hey, look, we're talking about changing the pro here. And he's like, well, this guy's blitzing. I'm like, well, if he blitzes, I'm going to throw a hot off it, talking about stuff like that. So he trusts me and I trust him, and we have an open dialogue all the time.
Clays was talking about how because so much of this group is coming back, camp T, all the typical things you would normally see in summer camp that in many ways you're trying to necessarily learn and figure out, there's not really going to be a whole lot of that because so many guys have already experienced it like yourself. Do you feel like that you necessarily agree with that standpoint? Do you feel like that there's necessarily a line between, oh yeah, it's a new team, but at the same time, so many of us are back?
Yeah, it's not necessarily getting to know the team and the guys anymore. It's kind of just growing with them, pushing each other, learning their limits and more of their why. You already know majority of the guys' whys and who they are as people and all that. So it's really just growing, and going through things. At the end of the day, you only have, I look to my left and I see Zay and I see him, during workouts and giving speeches and he's crying and, I'm an emotional person, so that hits my heart. To see someone like that, and then you go on game day and see that, just makes you want to play for them a little bit harder, makes you want to grind for them in the off season. And, then it's not about you. You get an injury, and you want to fold mentally. Well, guess what? Just because you having a bad day don't mean that you can make it their bad day too. So you got to go grind through that.
Sam, what's it mean to have a guy like Jordan Tyson on the perimeter for you to throw to in his caliber?
Yeah, incredible player, top tier receiver. He's going to go have, an incredible NFL career, and this season's going to be special. People see all the stuff he does from a physical standpoint, his body control, the way that he sticks, the way he catches the ball, but they don't understand the way that he feels out space. He might come out of a route early because he knows where to turn. He's really good in the option game. So the way that he goes about the process and the way that he views everything is pretty special. And you add that with his physical traits, it makes a pretty special player.
How have you seen him elevate from last season going into this season?
Yeah, it's night and day, and I've been saying it this whole day. The way that he's went about his process from a standpoint of not only on the field but as a person, and that's helped him as a player as well because he's a professional. He's showing up to the meetings, ready to go. His hair's not looking all sloppy in the morning anymore. Didn't just roll out of bed, setting a precedence, things along those lines that are just going to help you become a pro. And he understands that now, and he's continually progressing.
Being a preseason Heisman candidate, how you've been handling that pressure and your expectations that you have for yourself this coming season?
I really don't think it's that much pressure. Certain times it might get overwhelming, but that's what I asked for since day one. I asked to be in this position, and I put myself in this position. So it's something I've just kind of like prepared for. For me, it's been kind of like this was supposed to happen, just a matter of time. So for people that say it's too much pressure, then this wasn't the situation for you. So I'm just excited and, blessed to be here.